So, I mean, I'm also hearing this thing about leadership. I mean, obviously, there's an issue of leadership that seems to be coming out very clearly. When you talk about all of those 10, 12 years when Sri Lanka was in the top 3, they were leaders. And you also used another very interesting word which I want to pick on, alpha males. You said there was a pack of alpha males and you had to manage all of those alpha males, which is such a tough job to do. I mean, where are the alpha males and where is the leadership going to come from? I've heard about the proposal you've made to bring about change, structural change in Sri Lanka cricket, and I want you to talk about that as well. But equally, that's a very long-term thing. What do you do now? What do you do for the next tour? What do you do for the next 6 months? What do you do for the next 9 months? Sri Lankan people are passionate about the game, and you can see it on your own social media pages that the morale of the people are down, people are not going to the game. So we need a solution for 3 months, we need a solution for 6 months. Of course there can be a solution for 5 years, but what do the people of Sri Lanka look for the next game?
No, I mean, there are solutions for the short term. Whether that's going to give you results straight away, we'll have to wait and see. That all depends on how the players react to those changes and how best they can adapt to that. But I see there has to be a lot of hard decisions to be made in the short term. The long term, it's quite constructive. It has to be driven and said this is the policy that we are going to develop the game the next 5 years, and this is the structure. The leadership has to come within the players to identify how best they can adapt to that and allow these leaders to find a solution on their own.
Do you see leaders?
There are leaders, but I don't think they have been given the freedom to be leaders. I feel that others are trying to control these leaders and questioning every move that they make. I mean, when we were leading the team, if we had people questioning our decision making, I don't think we would have been able to go about the way we wanted to go about.
But there were accusations even then that actually speaking, even your team and your bunch of guys who created that team did have a lot of interference, and that was always a part of Sri Lankan cricket.
No, the interference was there. We never allowed that interference to creep into the team. We never allowed the team to be divided, or those. See, we had a policy. We had anyone who comes with extra luggage or brings in that kind of interference or say cricket politics, we would kick those guys out, because we did not want the entire apple cart to get rotten because of few bad apples. So that has helped us to keep that team together and to make sure our goal was to play good cricket, win matches for Sri Lanka and be proud of that. So yes, the interference was there. There were selections and all that happened. I'm not saying it did not, but we managed to control that within the team environment because we had strong leaders, not just 1 or 2, but 5, 6 guys.
How would you deal with it? Would you go to the administrators or whoever might be?
We would always, we wouldn't come out and say it in the papers.
Yes, but we would have one-on-one conversations.
Yeah, we would have.
Pushback.
Yes, we would do that in the right manner, because right now what I see is it's like trying to win fans, trying to win the public, and everything's out in the open.
Yes.
This guy says something, that guy says something, and it just every day is just news. Good organizations don't function on news. Good organization functions on results. And you need to find solutions behind closed doors, how we are going to come to that point. And that is how good companies, good organizations function. You don't wash your dirty laundry outside. You wash it inside and find out the solutions. And allow certain sections to flourish, allow them to make decisions, allow them to make mistakes and learn from those mistakes. That's what we need to do. So whether it's short term, long term, we need to have a policy, how we're going to do that. And see, it keeps coming back, these are things we should have done 15 years ago. Have these structures set up so that everyone understands their roles. Right now, We're getting a lot of kids from outstation in our national team, but they come when they arrive at the national level, that's when they start learning about the game. We needed to take that to under 15s, about the planning, the thinking and all that, and how they adapt. That needs to go down to our grassroots, because we have a good platform with our school's cricket structure, but we haven't really used that. There's a lot of things that we can do to get all these things sorted out, but that needs planning.